Blackbeard pirate attack. On the deck of the Queen Anne's Revenge, the rhythmic creak of the timbers and the gentle slap of waves against the hull the only sounds for hours. Most of the crew were engaged in the mundane, yet vital, tasks of ship maintenance, scrubbing decks, mending sails, or ensuring the rigging was sound. Life at sea, even for pirates, was often a monotonous grind. Suddenly, a shout pierced the calm. "Sail ho!" 2 points off the starboard bow. From the crow's nest, the lookout's voice carried across the deck, instantly transforming the ship's languid routine into a flurry of focused activity. Every man snapped to attention, eyes scanning the distant horizon. The chase begins, from calm to calculated pursuit. "What's her bearing, lad? What's she flying?" bellowed the quartermaster, his voice cutting through the rising murmur. "Merchant ship, sir. Looks like a fat one, English colors," came the reply. A ripple of excitement, a low growl of anticipation spread through the crew. This was what they lived for. Blackbeard, a towering figure even without his lit fuses, would likely be on the quarterdeck, his keen eyes already assessing the target. He was a pragmatic leader, known for ruling by intimidation rather than brutality. Preferring to avoid a fight if a show of force would suffice, orders would ring out, sharp and precise. "All hands to battle stations! Gunners, prepare your pieces! Carpenters, check the hull! Lookouts, keep her sighted!" The crew, well-drilled despite their outlaw status, moved with practiced efficiency. Cutlasses were drawn and sharpened, their steel hissing against whetstones. Cannons, up to 40 of them on the Queen Anne's Revenge, were meticulously loaded, their muzzles pointed, ready to unleash their destructive power. Personal pistols were checked, their flints and powder primed for immediate use. "Hoist the colors!" a voice would command, but not the Jolly Roger just yet. Pirates often employed false flag tactics, approaching under a friendly flag until the very last moment to deceive their prey. As the Queen Anne's Revenge began its pursuit, the captain might call for supplemental sails, stunsails, staysails, topgallants, or royals to be deployed, stretching every inch of canvas to gain speed. Sailors would scramble aloft, agile as monkeys, to unfurl the additional canvas. Some might even douse the sails with water, a trick to tighten the canvas and add a slight thrust. A superstitious few might furtively scratch a backstay or whistle, believing it would conjure more wind. The unveiling, intimidation, and the pirate's demand. As the distance closed, the merchantman would likely spot their pursuer, a growing speck on the horizon that rapidly transformed into the formidable silhouette of Blackbeard's flagship. Panic would surely grip the merchant crew. Then, at the critical moment, the false flag would be hauled down, and the infamous Jolly Roger, Blackbeard's personal banner, would unfurl against the sky. This was the moment of truth. Blackbeard's reputation preceded him. His ferocious appearance was often enough to compel surrender without a single shot being fired. Most crews, faced with the terrifying sight of the Queen Anne's Revenge and its legendary captain, would strike their colors, choosing to yield rather than face a bloody, unwinnable fight. This strategic use of intimidation minimized risk to the pirate crew and preserved the valuable cargo. The boarding. When surrender isn't enough. However, if the merchant captain, perhaps foolishly brave or desperate, chose to resist, the battle would commence. While cannon fire might be exchanged, pirates generally preferred to board enemy ships rather than sink them, as a sunken ship meant lost plunder. In the chaos of combat, the captain's command became absolute, overriding the quartermaster's usual authority in routine matters. Blackbeard, a master of strategy, would have discussed the plan of attack with his crew beforehand, a testament to the democratic nature of pirate ships. The Queen Anne's Revenge would draw alongside, grappling hooks flying to secure the two vessels together. Then, with a roar, the pirates would swarm across the decks. Boarding tactics were brutal and swift. They would attack at multiple points simultaneously, aiming to overwhelm the enemy. Cutlasses would flash, pistols would bark, and the air would fill with the shouts of men. The goal was to drive the enemy below decks, preventing their reserves from gaining the main deck, while maintaining continuous gunfire from both the tops, mast platforms, and the gun decks. The spoils of war, a democratic division. Once the merchant ship was secured and its crew subdued, the fighting would cease. A cheer would erupt from the pirate crew, often followed by a celebratory drink. The quartermaster, elected by the crew to represent their interests, would then take charge. His crucial responsibility was to decide what plunder to take from the captured vessel and oversee its fair division among the crew. This was a defining characteristic of pirate life. A surprisingly democratic system governed the division of spoils, a stark contrast to the hierarchical systems of naval or merchant ships. Every crew member, from the lowliest sailor to the most skilled gunner, was entitled to a portion of the spoils, a system designed to ensure loyalty and motivation. While equitable, the distribution was not entirely equal. The captain and quartermaster typically received larger shares, 2 shares each, followed by other officers, 1.5 shares for the master, boatswain, and gunner, 25 shares for other officers, and then the common crew, 1 share each. The fundamental principle of pirate economics was no prey, no pay. If no loot was acquired, no one received a share. Blackbeard himself was known to be pragmatic, as evidenced by his demand for valuable medical supplies as ransom during the Charleston blockade. Archaeological evidence from the Queen Anne's Revenge suggests that he likely absconded with most of the valuable loot, as very little treasure was found in the common areas of the ship. With the plunder secured, the captured ship might be ransacked, burned, or even added to Blackbeard's growing flotilla, and the Queen Anne's Revenge would set sail once more, returning to the long stretches of mundane sailing, awaiting the next opportunity for a dramatic shift from routine to raid.